let's just get right into the hot takes. Fiction isn't reality, and thus everything can be done and enjoyed. I think, yes, in theory, everything can be done and enjoyed. However, I think it's more so how it's done than what the topic is that is important. In other words, if we're talking about a taboo subject that could be potentially triggering, one, having trigger warnings is important,
Yes.
allowing people to decide what they're getting themselves into. There are certain genres like horror
Mm-hmm.
where there are no trigger warnings because you kind of know with horror what is possible. You definitely have to do your research. I know with the romance genre, you do have to have trigger warnings if there are
Mm.
certain heavy topics, and I think that's wonderful. Fiction can be a reflection of real life, and in real life, a bunch of bad shit happens and a bunch of things that people find to be uncomfortable. It doesn't necessarily have to be bad, but maybe it's not your cup of tea. However, I'm not really into shock for shock value's sake.
Mm.
And so I feel like if you're going to do something like, let's say, have a grape scene in your
Mm.
book,
Mm-hmm.
that it should have a purpose. It shouldn't
Mm-hmm.
just be for the simple fact of showing a woman getting violated. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that when it gets into that, it's something else. It's beyond just fiction. It's now, for lack of a better term, trauma porn.
Mm.
It's not for the purpose of the character's development or for the purpose of condemning said act.
Mm.
It's more for getting off on it. It's kind of like, this is going to feel like left field. It's like kind of Grand Theft Auto for me. They allow everything and anything in
Mm.
that video game. And I don't necessarily like the fact that you can act out certain behaviors that in
Mm.
real life you would go to jail for. Yes, it is a video game. People will argue it's not real life. I understand that. And I am not the type of person to think that just because you consume a certain type of media that you are automatically going to go out and act
Mm.
on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I think that media can fuel those things, but
Mm-hmm.
those things exist in that person already. It's
Mm-hmm.
not like you read it and then suddenly you're like, I'm going to go do this thing. And you
Exactly. I
never thought
agree.
about it before.
Yeah.
For me, it's good writing when there's a
Mm.
purpose for it. But yes, in theory, I will say everything
Mm.
can be done and enjoyed because it's not reality. That's an argument that will always continuously come up.
Yeah, and I pretty much agree. I think people struggle sometimes still till this day to understand fiction is fiction. People who already have certain tendencies, people who clearly need to work on aspects of themselves, those people may ruin it for others. They would fall into the argument of, see, it's not good. I think those are the outliers. Those are the asterisks that it's not a black and white, but for the
No.
most part, in theory, exactly. I do believe that it isn't reality. So everything can be done and enjoyed.